Native American Voices with Louie Cook and Ray Fadden is brought to you by the Akwesasne Gahwajile Genealogy and Historical Society with funding provided by Onaway and Plenty International. We invite you to listen to the complete series online at www.gahwajile.org. Nyawa Jizawadahusade.
You are on Indian land. Welcome to another program in a series where we present the voice of Native people speaking about Native issues. I'm Louie Cook. A few months ago, You Are on Indian Land featured a talk by Dianatolu, Ray Fadden, the founder and director of the Six Nations Museum in Anchiota, New York. Native Americans are dancing peoples. Some dances are ceremonial, some are social. One form of dancing practiced among many of the native nations is the stomp dance. Gregory Borst Porras explains.
The Creek stomp dances are one of the main dances and ceremonies of the Creek Nation. These songs and the Creek people, their original name is called Muskogee, are from Georgia, and they were moved to Oklahoma, where there are Creeks now living. The reason I say the stomp dance is a very important dance and ceremony of the Creek people is that it was done in the Green Corn Festival. This would be compared to the Thanksgiving dinners that are in the American culture, the United States culture, and the New Year culture. This began the year, it began the Festival of the Green Corn. It was so important, that the stomp dance, that for so many villages, there was a stomping area which the dance was done. And if you would mention a certain amount of stomping grounds, you would know how many villages existed around those particular stomping grounds. And it's where that particular saying comes from. These are my old stomping grounds. You must have heard that many times. This is where it comes from. The man who leads a stomp dance is called a fire chief. He is not a chief in a sense that you see on TV with a war bonnet and that kind of thing. He is more of a medicine man, more of a spiritual person, I should say. The dance is done in single file with the fire chief or the head singer in the front and the other people in single file in the back. The women in the older days would wear turtle shell rattles on their knees. This has been replaced by aluminum cans with little pebbles in them. They're tied on the knees, and when the feet shuffles or stomps, it makes a noise like a rattle. It's like a follow the leader type dance. And certain songs in the stomp dance are called four corner songs, which means they go to the four directions of the earth. Why they go to the four directions of the earth is to recognize, or if you meet a person, you shake hands with that person. And they go to the four corners of the universe to shake hands with the universe, to say that they recognize them and that they know they're there. And what they would do is go to the four corners of the field, wherever the stomping ground happens to be, and they would go in a circle, come out of the circle and go to the next corner, go into a tight circle following each other, and come out of that into the next corner. It's also done in a serpent-like motion, where the stomp dancer would make a sharp turn, the whole group makes a sharp turn. And we're speaking of maybe 50, 60, 70, up to couple of hundred people doing the dance. Of course, this dance is done in the cities at powwows and stuff where it's only a few people, 20, 30 people doing it. But it is done and still being done by the Creek people. The entire community, Indian community, dances. All ages, all sexes dance in this particular dance. How the song is done is that the leader has a part that he sings. And just like the dance is a follow the leader dance, so is the song that goes along with it. So the leader sings the first part, and the dancers answer him. And if you listen closely to the Creek Stomp dances, they have English words to them. These songs with the English words are newer stomp dance songs.
I got a pretty gal, he's got a pretty gal, way down in Kellyville, way down in Kellyville, way ha-yola, way ha-yola, way ha-yola, way ha-yola, hee-yo, way ha-yola, hee-yo, way ha-yola, hee-yo, way ha-yola. Hee-yo, hee-ha, hee-yo, hee-ha, hee-yo, hee-ha, woo, woo.
Another thing that I would like to say is that the Iroquois and other eastern tribes also have a stomp dance. But it is known that the Creek Nation originated the stomp dance, and it is being done now by other tribes in the longhouse, in ceremonies. But if you would know the Creek language, you could hear, for instance, in the Iroquois longhouse, the Canadian border, you could hear Creek words being sung, because these songs were taught by some Creek people, and it was carried on. So the stomp dance has become throughout the East Coast, through all the tribes, but originally with the Creek people. And it varies from tribe to tribe. It's a little faster or whatever. They throw their own particular thing into it, but they are originally Creek songs.
Send me a letter, send it by mail, oh hey yo, wahia. Send it in care, Ponca City Jail, oh hey yo, wahia. Oh hey yo, wahi, oh hey yo, wahi, oh hey yo, wahia. Way yo, way yo, hee ha, way yo, way yo, hee ha, way hey yo, oh ho, oh hey yo, oh ho. Hey yo, oh, oh, honey, oh, honey, oh, honey, oh, honey, oh, lana, honey, oh, lana, honey. Way, hi, yola, hey, way, hi, yola, hey, way, hi, yola, hey, way, ya, ha, way, ya, ha, way, hi, yola, hey, ah, ho, oh, ho, ah, ho, ho, ah, ho, oh, ho, ah, ho, ho, ah, ho, 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 ah, ho, ho, ah, ho, oh, ho, ah, ho, ho, oh, hey, yo, wahi, oh hey yo wahi, oh hey yo wahi ya, oh hey yo wahi, oh yo wahi, oh hey yo wahi ya, oh hey 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 ya. Woo!
Gregory Bors-Porras and Frank Harjo prepared that report with funds provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. I'm Louie Cook. You've been listening to You Are on Indian Land, a weekly series where we present the voice of Native people speaking about Native issues. You Are on Indian Land is produced in the studios of WSLU FM in Canton, New York, with materials made available from Akwesasne Notes at the Mohawk Nation. Akwesasne Notes is an international journal for native and natural peoples appearing 5 times a year and is the official voice of the Mohawk Nation at Akwesasne. Join us again next week for another hour in the series, You Are on Indian Land.
Native American Voices with Louie Cook and Ray Fadden is brought to you by the Akwesasne Gahwajile Genealogy and Historical Society with funding provided by Onaway and Plenty International. We invite you to listen to the complete series online at www.gahwajile.org. Nyawa jizawa dahusade.